What's up, everybody? It's your boy Doerflinger. I hope you're all having a beautiful, amazing, wonderful day today. And today we are going to be discussing how your environment can affect your mindset.
I don't claim to be the creator, but I'm a savior. I take the strange variables of human life and make something out of the crazy quilt that saves.
So, did you know that your environment plays a role in your mindset? So you can either have a negative or set mindset or a growth mindset. And it really is up to your environment, because your environment shapes a lot of what we do, how we act, how we think. And so if that's how we act, think, and behave, it could be due to our environment. So today in this video, we're going to be discussing how your environment affects your mindset. So think about it this way, right? So if you travel, say here in America, or if you go to like a different country and you stay there for a little bit, you begin to develop their accent from that country. And so it's the same thing with your environment. Your environment, if it's like messy or if it's clean, can really tell a lot about how your mindset is, because either messy says that you're unorganized or you're chaotic and you don't really like to be organized, whereas a clean room would be organized, disciplined. And for me, honestly, I think a good balance between both of them is really important. So one thing that can help is making a nice neat bed. Yes, I know my nightstand over there is a bit messy, but my bed is made and I'm slowly working on cleaning up my room again. It was clean, now back to messy, but yeah, besides the point. So if your room is a lot more cleaner, then you just feel a sense that hey, you can do more stuff, more energy can flow through, all that good stuff. Whereas a messy room, on the other hand, it kind of makes you feel unmotivated to really do a lot of things. Your room's messy, so you're like, oh man, it's just I don't want to clean it up, and then you just kind of get unmotivated. So if you think about it, you feel a lot better after cleaning up, even if it's just a little bit at a time. It'll still make a difference in how you feel. So another thing that can really help you in your environment, so say you have to go to the gym, for example, right? So if you prepare your gym clothes and have it all ready the night before, that way when you wake up, you can just grab it and there's less friction from you getting your gym clothes and getting your equipment ready and going to the gym, where if it's everywhere, you're gonna have to pick up each item and find it, and all that resistance is like, okay, well now I don't want to go to the gym. So it helps if you just reduce the friction or outsource your environment. So what you could do, so say for example, if you wanted to get rid of sweet foods, right, and you have a really hard time, so what you should do is avoid buying sweet foods and having your house all together, so you won't be tempted to eat it, and so that way you'll be less likely to buy it because you don't have it in your household at all. So if there's no sweets or anything like that, you can't eat it, so you can't really enjoy it. And it's a good thing, because sometimes you have to make your environment work for you rather than against it. See, a lot of times your environment, even whether it could be physical, try changing and get a different view. Maybe go out in nature more often or hang out with friends. That's a lot more better environment, because a seed can't grow in a toxic environment, can't grow in bad soil. So if you're in a bad environment, you can't expect to grow into a better person. Not only does your environment play a role on your mindset, but the people in that environment also affect the way you behave, the way you act and think, and because you are the sum of the top 5 people you hang out with. So naturally you pick up traits from people around you, and that could either be hurting you or it could be helping you. You just have to be careful who you associate with yourself with. So a good question to ask if you're getting advice is, hey, if I was this person, would I trade places with them? Would I be happy if I was them and trade places? And if the answer is no, then don't take their advice. But if the answer is yes, then think about, okay, why would I take this person's advice? And maybe test it for yourself to see if it works as well for you, because I've tested a lot of things and a lot of things have worked for me. So maybe something that I do may not work for you, but just do and test and trial and error. Also do something I like to call cherry picking. And basically cherry picking is taking, like, majority, say if it's 90% bad advice and 10% good advice, you don't like the 90%, you don't have to agree with it, so you can ignore it, but take the good advice and be like, yeah, that part was good advice, I'm gonna take that advice, you know? And so, like, I know this is a big example, but Andrew Tate, all of you who know that, but like, some of the things he does say, I know makes sense. Like, not everything, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with everything he says, but certain things do make sense, you know, like bettering yourself over women. That's going to be a future video. But like, yeah, there's stuff like that where it's good advice. So you can still get good advice from bad people. You just have to learn to sift through what's good to take in and what's not good to take with it. So ultimately, your environment should reflect who you are as a person. So say, for example, if you're an athletic person, have a yoga mat or weights in your room would say that you're an athletic person. So if you want to be more structurally and orderly and not lose things, having a more structured and organized room would help a lot more, better reflect who you are. While a messy room reflects more of like a messy person, doesn't really care. And you know, there's a lot of factors that can play into a messy room and a clean room. But also the way you grew up, people you hang around, all that stuff really can affect that. So, you know, there's plenty more factors that go into it, but I'm not going to go into all the details in this video. But instead of thinking of it like that way, maybe think of it like this. If you were the worst version of yourself, you know, you really hated yourself, your mental health was bad, your physical health was bad, and you didn't really take good care of yourself, the worst version of you would reflect a really bad, messy room. And then think of you as the best version of yourself and how you want to be. Then you'll start feeling a lot better. You'll start having a more cleaner room. And it just takes one small step at a time. You know, doing action with information is how you get experience. Hey, if you got this far in the video, I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And if you like the video, smash that like button. And if you found this video useful, share it with someone so they can also benefit from this video. Because we are here to bring you positivity, self-care, and help you find the most best and authentic version of yourself. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you doing? Don't be a dingus. Destroy that fucking subscribe button to be able to receive more content like this. And now back to the rest of the video. So, something to consider is the inputs and outputs you are taking. And what I mean by that is, like, say the TV shows you're watching or the music you listen to every single time, every single day can really affect your mindset. So if you're someone who listens to a lot of negative music or maybe like angry music, stuff like that, slowly but surely, maybe you realize it or not, it seeps into your subconscious mind and slowly becomes a part of who you are. Because a lot of times music is a way of how we express ourselves. It's a form of art in its own. So, you know, a lot of times the music we listen to can tell a lot about who we are as a person, whether it's the lyrics itself of the song or just like the energy of the song itself too. And so, like, for me, when I was a lot younger, I had a lot of love songs, I had a lot of pop songs, you know, stuff like that, a lot of negative songs, and they weren't helping me. So I did a purging of all my playlist and took out every single song in there I didn't like and revamped it with new songs that I like, more positive, inspiring, you know, uplifting songs that really helped a lot when I was going through tough times. And especially if you're someone neurodivergent, it really does help to have like music that you can help build positivity from and stuff like that. because also remember that our brain acts like a supercomputer in a sense, where if you tell it something enough times, it doesn't know whether it's a truth or a lie, and so it programs it. And if that software keeps running, then it becomes a hardware and it becomes internalized, and you keep practicing those same things. So it's good to, reflect on the certain things you are taking in. And also, sometimes, like before I even changed all my songs and was able to listen to heavier stuff again, was until I changed my environment from the people I was around. Because at the time, I was in a negative environment. I didn't enjoy where it was, so that's how the songs that I was listening to. And now that I realized that, and I've changed my playlist and can listen to the harder stuff now, it's helped a lot switching your environment up. Also, something that has helped a lot is learning to be alone with your thoughts and your own company, because you can be your best friend or your worst enemy, honestly. And so why not try to be comfortable with your thoughts? And that way you don't have to worry about trying to always distract yourself from your thoughts. So that's why I say reflecting and meditation are really useful tools, because it helps you keep you in the present. And if you are envisioning who you are with your whole body, who you want to become, what you want to achieve later down the road, you are teaching your brain to turn that software into a hardware and bring your future into your present moment, which is ultimately going to change who you are as a person. So everything has a frequency, everything has a vibration, and so when you vibrate at a certain frequency or certain emotion of some sort, that's the energy level you're going to be putting out. And so if you're living in emotion, you're living in the past. But if you're living in the present, you're going to bring the future closer to you, and just envision who you want to be. Just live your the best version of who you want to be, and just envision that with your whole being, and then it'll come true. You just have to put action to it as well. So did you know that also your work and your digital environment also affects your mindset? So for people who have messy desktops, there's no system, there's no organization system, and there's just things everywhere. Or if your work environment, say you have a desk and it's really messy, or you just have papers everywhere and you don't know where certain papers are, it can really affect you. So setting aside some time here and there to clean up your work and your digital space, or even your physical environment, can help a lot. And you know how that saying goes, dress to impress. So basically, if you dress nice, you're gonna feel nice, and that's gonna ultimately improve your confidence, your mood. So question what you wear on a day-to-day basis and how it makes you feel, because I know personally from experience is that if you stay in bed and you don't change out of your clothes, and then you have a messy bed or unmade bed, you just don't really, you feel sloppy, you feel like you don't really want to do anything. So try and dress a bit nicer, go outside, get some fresh air for a little bit, come back, and then just start slowly cleaning up little bits here and there. Because remember, your environment, the physical at least, reflects who you are as a person. Even your digital could show a lot about who you are as a person. And plus, once you handle those smaller things in life, if you can't manage the small things in life, you can't manage the bigger things in life. And so it's going to be a lot more difficult managing those bigger things, because the smaller things that build the foundation aren't there to hold up the bigger things when bigger things do come in your life. So just slowly fixing little bits here and there, even if it's just 5 minutes, you can still feel a bit of accomplishment because you did something to clean up a little bit and just feel a bit better about having a cleaner space. That's all I have for y'all. So stay legendary, stay beautiful. I'll see you on the next adventure.